main feature, the 1,200 word piece, is due on the 8th of June. And that's when the Daily Telegraph has set the deadline. But we'll definitely be filing stories while we are there.
Get over your prejudices. You're never going to be able to experience a country without the background of your entire life. And for most of us in Australia, it's been a lucky ride. But when you're thrust into a completely new environment, you need to try to silence those voices in the dark. You need to try to suppress your prejudices. And when you can do that, then you can get a story. I ended up following the Maria Stridham story, and at one point the Australian media was reporting that her body had been retrieved, which I happen to know was completely false. I'd spoken to a Sherpa on the mountain who said, no, her body's still up there and the conditions are terrible, she's not coming down for days. And so I pitched that to the Chief of Staff of the Australian, who said, no, our sources say that she's been rescued, which was frustrating because I knew that was false, and I knew that her source, who was Maria Stridham's mother, who was in Melbourne, she just misunderstood what had happened. Her body was located, it just wasn't retrieved. I woke up the next morning and the Sydney Morning Herald had gotten that scoop that she actually hadn't been rescued, she was still on the mountain, and I was so disappointed to miss that scoop. So I ended up writing a story partially about the location and the rescue of Maria Stridham herself, and a little bit about what actually is involved in the rescue of a person on Everest. And that actually, it did end up being published by The Australian. It was on the front page of The Australian's website. The Chief of Staff emailed me and she said, just wanted you to know, we did end up publishing your story and I thought you'd want to see your name. And it was so surreal that I remember we were sitting in the lobby of our hotel and I just said kind of quietly, I got published by The Australian, and then everyone kind of went crazy like, what, you got published? And I just was sitting there like, wow, like I actually did it, I got published. I was working on my piece, the hotel owner was on the phone with a Sherpa on the mountain, and everybody was just kind of pitching in and doing a little bit of research here and there. And it was one of those moments, and I think that most people only have a few in their life, where I was like, this is everything to me and this is exactly what I'm meant to be doing with my life.